Gina, say hi, Gina.
Hello.
Gina is about to. How many units are we going to inject?
Today, I believe we're doing 32 units total on you. We're addressing the glabella region, which is in between the brows, and then the forehead. So forehead, you're getting about 14 units. Glabella region, you're getting about 18, which is quite in the norm.
The norm, yeah. So this is my second time. I did take before and after photos the first time we did this, and I'm going to post them, and they're crazy. It's so amazing that what Botox can do.
Yeah.
So I will insert those into the video in just a second.
Yeah.
But would you say I'm at baseline now?
Yeah, she's at baseline, and when you see your before and after pictures, not only does your forehead look kind of smooth and any kind of static lines that you may have like already imprinted skin is softened, but also you get a lift aspect to your Botox as well. So when you do the glabella region, it is going to kind of elevate and lift, so you look a little refreshed. And also with your brows as well, as we age, our brows start to fall below the brow line, so it kind of can
Gives
help
you a little
elevate
bit of a
that.
subtle, natural look.
And it makes you look refreshed.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, you want to go ahead and just get started with the
Yeah. Do I need to take
actual
off?
injections? I'm going to just swab with a little bit of alcohol here. And we use an insulin syringe, which is very tiny. It's the same thing diabetics use to inject their insulin, so it's not very painful.
Yeah, I don't remember it being painful at all. So, Gina, what is Botox?
It's a medication. It's a neuromodulator that actually relaxes the muscle. It also has a purified protein, which makes it safe to go into the body. And also it's reconstituted with a sterile sodium chloride. And Botox has been used for 50 plus years, I think, now. First time use was for muscle spasms around the eye. A lot of people don't know that. And then, lo and behold,
Cosmetic.
it was making the lines around the eyes go away. So
Yeah.
that's how
So here we are.
they figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and I'm going to have her kind of contract the muscle so I can kind of see.
This?
And as you can see, she's got pretty good corrugator muscle and her processor muscle here. So we're just going to inject these 3 muscles.
Do I need to do that for you?
Yeah, and then go ahead and relax. And then one more time. And relax. And then one more time. And relax. I kind of squeeze the muscle, kind of takes a little bit of the pain off as well. You're going to look like you have like little bitty mosquito bites for just a couple minutes, and then they reabsorb.
Okay. And so you said I'm getting about 30 units or 32?
Altogether.
Okay. And so I guess it ranges for people, right? Depending on
age, what you come in with. If you're aged or already have static lines, which are kind of like fine imprinted lines on the
so
forehead.
when you're not making the expression, you can see them.
Yeah, because raise your brows. This is what we call a dynamic line. So everybody can make a dynamic line, but when you're at relaxation, if you still have like a static line that's kind of imprinted into the skin, then
that takes more units.
Not
typically.
necessarily, but it just depends. That's why a lot of people are starting to do this earlier than later, just to kind of be preventative. But I do have a lot of clients that are already in their 40s and 50s that have those. So sometimes it can take a little bit more, but a lot of the times the forehead, that factor is just how tall the forehead, how wide the forehead is, and that's going to be variable.
Coverage you have to work.
Yeah, I have like a big forehead, so I've got a lot of real estate to cover. But yeah, but basically that's why it's very variable here. Your glabella region is usually the strongest muscle, so that usually takes the most. And then crow's feet is another common area that we treat. It just depends, again, how strong people's muscles are contracting.
So I've only done it in between my brows and on my forehead.
And then I'm going to have you raise your forehead again, and then relax.
I don't even feel that.
The finesse.
And so, how long does it typically last?
3 to 4 months. You'll probably start noticing a little bit of some sluggish movement right about the 3rd or 4th day, but optimal is usually 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And then raise your brows really high. Okay, then relax.
Someone told me the first time I came here not to work out right after.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. So typically we don't want you to lay flat 4 to 6 hours or to work out that day, just because we don't want you to cause any circulation to move the product and get it to float into a zone that it shouldn't be.
So once you inject it, it kind of moves and finds the, you're injecting in a place to where we want it to go.
Right. And we're actually going right into the muscle. Excellent, not even hardly bleeding. And then raise one more time.
Yeah, I've been thinking about Botox for a while, and it was kind of one of those words where, you know...
It's kind of scary when you first start thinking about doing it.
Right. But I have a lot of friends that have done it, and, you know, it's not permanent, so I knew that if I did it and I didn't like it, it was going to go away within a couple of months.
For sure, yeah. And then you've come in a good time because you're obviously doing it for preventative.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have static lines, but if you continue to do this, you will never have static lines. So.
Well, I'm all for that.
Aren't we all?
Are we done? Is that it? Oh, wow. That was awesome. Okay,
else?
what other questions did I have? We already talked about how long it takes to see results. How much does it cost?
That'll range in, you know, state, zip code, but typically it's $10 to $12 a unit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a unit basically is, you know, on this syringe there's 5 to 10 to 15 units, just depending on how much you're needing.
Okay. Well, I think that answers all the questions. Are there any other questions that people usually ask?
No, I think we covered everything. I'm glad you brought up the workout too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
That was fun.